is where Israel starts to replace America as like the global superpower, Pax Judaica, and then the ultimate end game is a one world AI surveillance state with the global matrix of control being headquartered in Jerusalem. Is that what you see happening by 2045, or is that what they see?
Okay. All right. So let's differentiate between Greater Israel Project and Pax Judaica. Okay. So Greater Israel Project is the idea that Israel needs to achieve the promised land, which they believe is what Yahweh promised to ancestor Abraham. And this promised land, if you look at a map, extends from the Nile in Egypt to the Euphrates in Iraq. It also includes parts of Anatolia, Turkey, as well as parts of Saudi Arabia. And so you can make the argument that what Israel wants to achieve in this war is the Greater Israel Project, meaning that it wants to extend this war as much as possible to drag in as many players as possible, including Turkey, including Saudi Arabia. Because if they're destroying this war, then it's just easier for Israel to achieve the Greater Israel Project. Right. And then they want to make Jerusalem the capital of this empire and build the third temple, and this will allow for the Messiah to come. That's how these religious Zionists see things unfolding. Pax Judaica is different. Pax Judaica is transnational capital seeing an opportunity in Greater Israel and saying, well, if you guys are going to achieve the Greater Israel Project, we'll come in and finance all this. And we'll help with the building of the AI surveillance state. So there are not that many Jews, so we'll hire mercenaries to be the military for this empire. We'll also bring in millions of Indians, Chinese, Filipinos to work as slaves in this empire. And we will use the AI surveillance state to keep this system in check. Right? So every slave will be given a microchip. And and there's unlimited oil and energy.
Every slave will be given a microchip. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakwadash. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel that are scattered abroad. Yeah, man, so this dude, you know, he got a few things that may be off, but he mentioned the microchip. There'll be slaves and given the microchip. Either these people been watching the Hebrew Israelites or I don't know. It's totally obvious that our presence has affected the whole world in some way, shape, or form, because these people are listening and they're not giving the credit where credit is due to the prophets, but they're taking their words and they're putting it inside of their things. You know, they're taking the words of the Lord, all right, that the prophets speak, and putting it into their own thing. Now he's clearly talking about Revelation chapter 13. All right. In verse 16, when it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, he's clearly talking about that. That's what he's talking about. Now, is he a Jake and he just, the Lord, or have they just been listening to us? All right. This is Revelation 13 and 16, and it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. See, everybody else gets this, but certain people, they just can't accept it because the Lord cut them off from it. Certain Israelites. No, I truly believe that what the apostles told us about this chip. Now, this is something very serious, man. And you look at what's going on the earth, like everything is leading to it. From the immigration, the ICE troops wanting to track people with their Israeli technology, to the, Iran versus Israel and America, the Strait of Hormuz being closed, the new money system, the digital system they want you to live in. Everything's leading to that chip. Everything around every corner is leading to that chip, man. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it don't matter if you in prison, you are not in prison, you in jail, you not in jail. Every single person. To receive a mark, which is a charagma. All right, an imprinted mark. So it's an etching. And you go deeper into that word, it goes into karax, which is, the device used, with the, to push the charagma inside of you. Then it goes into grapho, which is basically the computer, to record your every thought, to your intake of meats, and how much money you spend, how many times you leave the city or go to the doctor, all your information. Basically, grapho is the recording of data, and they've been recording your data. They've been listening through these phones, obviously, your television, maybe different devices inside your home. Your car, your different, lights that are on the streets, highways, tracking. The digital system is being set up in the stores. So yeah, he asked him, "What's the end game?" You know.
Pax Judaica is different. Pax Judaica is transnational capital seeing an opportunity in Greater Israel and saying, well, if you guys are going to achieve the Greater Israel project, we'll come in and finance all this. And we'll help with the building of the AI surveillance state. So
and that's where Elon Musk, Sam Altman, all these different people that are getting their buildings burned down. They all, just what they're trying to do with Gaza. Make it a whole digital surveillance colony. Make different places adapt to their image. All right, making everybody slaves. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Revelations 13 and 16, verse 17, it says a mark, and we just went through that. It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, except he had that mark of the beast inside of his head or his forehead, man. His hand or his forehead. It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So when you worship this system in these last days, You know, you take that mark, you take that chip, all right? You seek to save yourself, and the Lord's going to destroy you. All right, that's what's going on in the earth. All right, let me go to a different video. I got a bunch of different videos that I want to play, and I'm just going to get some scriptures to them. Let me see. It keeps on skipping. Let's go up to the top. Let's yeah. So all these buildings are being. It says someone set a Raytheon facility on fire. It's almost like it's See, the wicked elites are really controlling everything, man. You know, Trump. You know, he's doing the bidding of the wicked elites too. There's somebody in the background. All right, there's somebody in the background. Check this out.
It's in the rule system. In other words, it's the end of currency, right? Because it's simply a rule system. And you can earn credits in the rule system, and the rule system can apply all sorts of carrots and sticks. So if you're very, very good, you could get more credits. If you're bad, you could have your credits taken away. So the big issue here, if you look at the world that we've grown up in, most of us have grown up, whether Canada, the United States, in a world where the bankers control monetary policy and the people's representatives control fiscal policy, which means...
So, the bankers, it always goes back to the Rothschilds, man, and the wicked elites, so-called 13 families. All right, and you got all types of people up under them. You know, you got these AI companies, all right, these other banks, these smaller banks, these private equity firms, all right, the WEF, the FDA, the CIA, all these different factions, you know, are up under this umbrella and making the moves of the wicked elites. Why do you think that nobody's moved to impeach Trump? Because it's not just about Israel either, because they're being controlled. But they're closer to the Rothschilds than America is. See, not just the Rothschilds, but the wicked elite want to get rid of America. Their goal is to, all right, make everybody slaves here. This is a consumer nation. This has been a whole damn project on the people ever since its inception. It's been a witchcraft project. All right, Babylon the Great. This is that place, man. All right.
The people's representatives set taxes and then determine how the money's going to be spent. Now the bankers in the system can control what taxes are. If they want to raise taxes, they just take it out of your account. You have no control, and there's no need to vote for representatives because the bankers can control it directly.
So there's no need to vote for representatives because they already know what they're gonna do. They just feed you a lie, man. That's why we don't vote for any of them, man. They already know what they're gonna do. They're playing a trick on you, man. All right, taxes are so high. You got to pay tax on everything. It's like you got to pay taxes just to breathe. When you go to the hospital, you got to pay taxes. When you get your check, you got to pay taxes. You go through the store, you got to pay taxes. At the end of the year, you got to pay taxes. All right, any store you go into, you got to pay taxes. Anything you do, you got to pay taxes in it, man. Even if you buy a house or, you buy a car, Everything is taxed, man. You're constantly paying to live. It don't matter who you choose. It's still going to be the same thing. You still got to pay. All right. Because in all reality, you're just a slave, man. In all reality.
Have grown up, whether Canada, the United States, in a world where the bankers control monetary policy and the people's representatives control fiscal policy, which means the people's representatives set taxes and then determine how the money's going to be spent. Now the bankers in the system can control what taxes are. If they want to raise taxes, they just take it out of your account. You have no control, and there's no need to vote for representatives because the bankers can control it directly, and they can decide how it's spent. And if you don't like that, they can turn off your money.
Interesting. And so how, like, I mean, this seems like something that's well into the future. Is there going to be a point when this becomes official? Like, how do we get to there from where we are right now? Like, well, what are they doing?
This is not far in the future. This is coming now. I mean, if you look at the debanking, you look at the control of credit cards, if you look at the new stablecoins putting terms and conditions that say you're not allowed to buy, you can't buy a bow and arrow with Circle until there was a whole hullabaloo and they had to change their terms and conditions. But this is here now, and most importantly, the laws and the systems are being put in place that make this possible. So now is the time. We have maybe at most 2 years to do the things we need to do to prevent this from clicking in and going live. So when they say it's 2030 and you have no assets, they're serious. They're creating a system where they can literally take all your assets, including your kids.
Yeah, see, including your kids. They're trying to indoctrinate your children already. All right, this is a prison planet, prison house, man. All right, in which they're gonna force you to worship them. This is what the scriptures be speaking about, man. All right, that digital system, that beast system. This is coming upon earth. It ain't nothing you can do about it because it's ultimately the Lord's will too, to ultimately, all right, and hey, the Lord is doing all this for a reason, man. All right, and Esau Edom thinks that he's like planning some stuff, like he wants to get the land, over there in Israel. These so-called, JEWs, but they're not the real ones, man. You can tell by how they act. All right, in these last days, all right, we wouldn't be rich until the Lord brings us back into the land. These devils got pride parades and beaches, and it's like the city of homosexuality, man. Like, all right, these damn soldiers be raping men and women and children and blowing up their bodies and all types of stuff, and they don't give a crap, man. Shooting women when they're walking with their children, shooting children, fucking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, just killing everybody. Those ain't the people of the Lord. Hell no, man. All right, it's so obvious. All right, and hey, the Lord is letting everybody know. This is let me read a few scriptures real quick. Babakusha. This is I was gonna get that Malachi. Yeah, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. And it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Yeah, and that's one huge thing. You know, people are not mindful of the scourges that they're going through with their rent and all these things, and people act like they paying attention, but they don't realize it's about to hit everybody because they're gonna crash this system. All right, and it's ultimately the Lord that's gonna do it. All right, but this system will crash. This dollar will crash. They're gonna bring in a digital system. All right, and everything's cool right now. Everything's like, people are seeing shit and they're like, oh well, that's happening over there. They're so used to people getting killed, bombs going off somewhere else. They're so used to people rising up against their government somewhere else. They're just used to murder. They're used to seeing these things, so they're like complacent because it's not happening to them. But just like the scriptures say, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, the hearts of men is fully set in them to do evil. So everybody in America is continuing in their wickedness. So the scripture is saying they would. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness. All right, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Mindful, thinking about what the hell is going on around you. Like, why is these things happening? Like, a lot of people are making videos and stuff like that, but that's not the majority of people. People don't even care. People like, I just mind my business. I don't, some people don't even know what's going on in the world. They don't know that there's a war going on. They don't know that the system is changing. They've been seeing it slowly, but they don't know how drastic it's going to be. They don't know that, the soldiers are, being fed, just like a kindergartner. They don't know that, soldiers and lieutenants and all these people in the army are quitting. They don't know that Trump been lying to manipulate the markets and, get richer while the Americans struggle and become homeless. All right, get evicted. All right, because of the cost of living. They're not even paying attention to anything. That a lot of people aren't paying attention at all. They don't know. It says, verse 21, 2nd Ezra 16 and 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Yeah, so people think themselves, oh man, all right, people trying to, in a time like this, people trying to, act like nothing's going on because they can still go get a burger. They can still go to the store, and even though it's inflation, it hasn't hit it hard enough yet for people to complain that much about it. A lot of people they're gonna get gas anyway because they got to get gas to get to work, to pay taxes. They're gonna get some food anyway because they got to get some food in order for them to eat, in order to live, even though there ain't no nutrients in this food that you eat. The food is a drug, man, that they're pushing. The food that they do have, it's all drugs. So people are constantly lined up in those lines, man. All right, but sooner or later, this shit gonna all be shut off. The light's gonna get shut off in this place. Sooner or later, all right, like the scriptures say, you think yourself to be in a good case right now, and whenever somebody tell you that it's gonna get worse, you get all mad. You don't want to hear that. You want to try your best to act like it's not going to happen. But all the signs around you are telling you it's going to happen. All right, like the scriptures say, whenever it says whenever it's red and lowry, red like, let me see, ye hypocrites, right? Yeah, cause yeah, this is Matthew 16, right? And 2 it says, and he said unto them, when it is evening, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky. Yeah, this is like whenever you look up at the sky, it's either day or night, right? You can discern that. These people can discern that. They can discern that when they look up at the sky, the moon's there. It's changing. It's telling you things. There's stars. People are seeing UFOs. They know they're seeing the UFOs. Nobody's talking about it enough. They're scared. They're scared to even talk about it. Oh, don't talk about that. You know that you're seeing the price of things rising. You know that solar eclipse that happened not too long was something different. You know that COVID-19, the vaccine did something to people. Everything has changed. People don't do anything like people are totally different. It's a whole different world, man. You know that something is up. The vibration is totally off. You can feel that. You can see in the air that it was talking about 3-eye atlas. You can tell that the earth is quaking. There's like thousands of earthquakes every single day. Different storms and different lightning and lightning coming down and burning churches. People are tired of living, committing suicide at an all-time rate. You know something's going on. See, you can discern all these things, but what? It says, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. These are all signs. Luke 21, Matthew chapter 24. Rumors of wars, rumors of wars. You seeing all that and you trying to avoid it. A lot of you people are trying to avoid it, but you're not going to be able to avoid it, man. It says, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. Right. So you people don't even understand. Let me read that in the NIV. It says, today it will be stormy, for the sky is red and overcast. You know how to interpret the periods of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. Yeah, you cannot interpret the signs of the time because you don't believe in the Lord, and the Lord ultimately didn't put it on you to understand because you're none of His. You're none of His. Or else you would have been paying attention. And you're seeing all these things. You're hearing the name of the Lord. You know that it's not Jesus, but you don't care. So all these plagues are coming. All these things are going to come upon you, man. All these things are going to come upon you, and you're not going to be able to do anything. That's why the Lord said, remember thy Creator in the days of thy youth. A 2nd Ezra chapter 14, I think it speaks about set thine house in order. There's all types of scriptures, man. The Lord said He was going to, it says, this is Isaiah 34 and 1. It says, come near ye nations and hear. And hearken, ye people, let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. So the Lord wants your full attention. It says, for the indignation, Isaiah 34:2, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Yeah, all you people about to get drafted, you go over there to that, you're not coming back, man. All this is the indignation of the Lord for what? For the controversy of Zion, man. For what you did to his people. What was it? Zechariah 1, it said, I am sore displeased with the heathen that are round about. It said, I think it's like 1:16. I was but a little displeased, but they helped forward the affliction. See, the Lord is pissed off, man. And you can feel it in the air. There's all types of things going on in the earth, man. Let me put a different video up, man. We ain't gotta hear that no more. Yeah, this dude said his daughter, somebody tried to get his daughter to go to the door on FaceTime, she said, man, you don't even want to hear this story. This is crazy. See, the technology getting crazy.
My daughter answered the FaceTime audio call from me, but I never called. True story, it literally just happened, 6 o'clock tonight. I'm in the kitchen and my daughter's in the next room on her iPad. Everything's normal. Then I hear her say, okay, Dad, I'm coming right there. So I walk in like, coming where? I asked her, who are you talking to? She looks at me confused and says, you just called me. I'm like, no, I didn't. She says, yes, you did on FaceTime audio. So I freeze because my phone is sitting right on the counter. I haven't touched it. So I grab her iPad and I check the call log. There it is, FaceTime audio from Dad. Lasted about 12 seconds. But something doesn't feel right. So I clicked into the actual contact. And that's when my stomach drops because it's not my contact. It's some random email address, mask under my name. Well,
see, this is the Epstein class, man. This is some evil shit going on here, man. All right, with these, you see how they're trying to manipulate the children's minds. They're trying to push homosexuality on the children. They're pushing devil worship, different after schools, satanic programs, after school drag shows at the churches, all types of shit, man. Yeah, this is where, see, man. See, it wasn't even him. And they asked his daughter to go to the door, man. Check it out.
Dad. Now I look at her and ask, what did you say? What did it say? She tells me it sounded just like me. Same voice, same tone. And I told her, come, and it said I told her to come to the front door. I forgot the groceries. Like,
I come to the front door, I forgot the groceries, bro. So that they can hurry up and snatch her and be out that motherfucker. See? The Lord gonna destroy this place, man. Alright? All these pastors, these Christian pastors being caught, alright, way before the Epstein files. They all been pedophiles. You know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, you know, people coming forward over the years, letting them know that they've been abused by priests and different pastors of these churches. You know, you see Trump, he running from those, he and the Epstein files all types of times, man. All types of people, and then they still ain't got arrested. Nobody went to trial, or nobody get arrested. They don't, you know. Even man, even the COVID, ain't nobody get arrested for that jab, man. That killed all those hundreds of thousands of people. Children, athletes. People are still collecting data. People are still dying off of that shit. Rapists and pedophiles, and people being caught with child this, that, and the other on their phones. And this is a horrible place. Like the Bible speaks about it, man. Like being what did the Lord say? I'll get this scripture real quick and then I'll close it off. Yeah, it says verse Revelation 17:5, and upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. See, that's America, man. That's America. That's this place, man. The mother of harlots and abominations of the whole earth, man. That's this place. Right? I think we already read that one. So, hey, all praise and glory. How about you, man? Hopefully this message was edifying. Shalom.